Hello everyone, I'm Heather.
And I'm Craig.
And today we want to take a look at God of War. That includes the 2018 God of War reboot and God of War Ragnarok. We want to discuss what's next for the series.
Yes, definitely. There's so many different avenues that I think the franchise could go with, especially given that the original trilogy was Greek mythology and this one was Norse. So there's a lot of room for manoeuvre, especially given how, I want to say, open-ended the story of Ragnarok kind of ends.
Yes. First of all,
we should also say probably spoilers.
I was literally about to say that. Literally about to say there's going to be spoilers, story and gameplay from the get-go. So tune back in if you haven't played Ragnarok and everything.
Which you should.
Oh, you should definitely. The fantastic game.
Both of them. Both of them. You should definitely play both of them if you haven't.
Absolutely. The story has lots of twists and turns that we all know of. One of the best twists in gaming. I'm sorry, but we'll get into that later. But the way everything unfolds has left fans wondering what the hell is next. What's going to happen to Atreus, Kratos, and Freya, and Sindri? Mimir, yep. Oh, there's so much we could discuss.
I think we should start with Atreus.
Okay.
That's the best place to start, I think.
Absolutely, because one of the most significant gameplay developments in Ragnarok was Atreus' role. You could actually control Atreus in this one.
That was mind-blowing how that happened.
It was so good.
It's a cut, because one of the best things about God of War, the reboot anyway, is how it flows from dialogue scenes to gameplay.
Yeah.
And the camera follows Kratos and Atreus, then they have a bit of a falling out, I think, and then Atreus walks out the door and then it's like, wait, I'm controlling him?
Yeah.
That's just, it's like, I've never controlled anyone outside of Kratos.
Yeah. And do you know what? They really showed off the potential for Atreus. And the fact that it felt like the end of Kratos and Atreus' intertwined adventure, that makes me think that the next God of War game, if we're going to get one, who knows? I'm sure we will. It'd be a silly IP to waste. Anyway, that makes me think that they're not going to do a similar thing they did with Ragnarok for the next game, which is, they follow both stories parallel.
Yeah.
Because Atreus is gone, spoiler alert, and we're left with Freya. What? I have things to say about Freya, but we'll get into that later. What was I even saying? Atreus. Yes. Atreus.
We do think a spin-off game with him would be great.
Absolutely.
Son of War. I can see it now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a coming-of-age story. When you look at it, both games, they're a coming-of-age story.
Oh, definitely.
He's a little boy in the first one, and then in the second one, he's an adorable teen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I actually believe there was a rumour going around that there was going to be an Atreus-led game. But people was like, ew, no, and this was before Ragnarok was released. So now, if there is going to be an Atreus-led game, which I hope there is, we can go on adventures in Jotunheim with Atreus and Angrboda.
Well, I did read that one of the original ideas for Ragnarok was where you played as Atreus and trying to get Kratos out of hell because he got cast into hell.
I remember reading about that as well.
Yeah, so they weren't a game. They were thinking of it from the very beginning, pretty much, I guess. Because he is a great character. To
be honest, I too sneered at the idea of playing as Atreus because in the first game, he had such a minor role. He was just Kratos' sidekick, I guess, sidekick son, and he was kind of whiny.
Well, he's not got the best emotionally supportive person as a dad, has he? So.
True. Well, I believe Santa Monica Studios has proved that Atreus can hold his own.
I definitely think he could have his own game.
I
wouldn't call it God of War, though.
Oh, God, no. No, he's got his own story set up. He has his own destiny as Loki. You know,
and at the end he wants to find more giants, doesn't
he? It does.
There's a game right there.
Yeah. So I mean, Atreus wants to help the giants.
What's the girl he's in?
Angrboda.
I can't remember her name. Yeah. And she could be his Atreus.
Yeah. Which is really annoying because the best thing she has to offer is paints. Throwing paints during the battlefield. What's that about?
Powder. She just throws flour.
Do you know what? I have to be honest. In Ragnarok, the Atreus sections, some of them were top notch. There was the best parts of the game. In Jotunheim, when you got to meet Angrboda, and you got to ride on that beast. I've forgotten what the beast is called. And when you go,
grandmother.
Oh yeah,
She's
Greta. I think it's Greta.
It begins with a G.
Oh god, that was so hard. That was actually really hard. But you also get Asgard, with Atreus, and you get the first visit to Midgard when it's frozen over with Sindri, because you're going to face Freya. So yeah, I do think Atreus needs his own game.
Yeah. Actually, Asgard's a good one, because following Ragnarok, it'd be good to go back there and see the aftermath. Because Kratos isn't tied to Norse mythology. Loki is, or Atreus is. So it would make sense for him to want to explore. Yeah. And who knows what's in Asgard about the location of giants. I mean, and what do you call it? Thor's daughter could still be there, because she becomes a Valkyrie.
Oh yeah, Valkyries are still about, aren't they?
So there's a lot of room there. If you're watching this, Santa Monica, hit me up. I'm a writer.
Yeah.
I'm giving you ideas for free here.
Yeah. Asgard rebuilding. That does sound cool. I hope that we don't just get a DLC.
No, I don't want a DLC.
Like, if we just get an Atreus DLC in Jotunheim or whatever, then that wouldn't be enough for me.
They're waiting a long time, though, aren't they, though? If they're doing a DLC, I mean, usually it's within the first year of release. When did it come out? Was it November? Ragnarok?
It might have been, yeah.
It's July now as we record this. I don't know when it will go up on the channel, but it's July as we record this. So who knows? And it's like the longer a DLC it comes out, the worse it is.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like Mass Effect. Mass Effect 3 has the Citadel DLC. I had all the DLCs up until for the original Xbox version, but I didn't know that had come out. It came out like 2 years after the game, and I had no idea. I was like, wait, there's another DLC I've missed out on? So yeah, I hope they don't do that and it just gets left to the wayside. I think a full-blown game will be way better.
Yeah. So there's a lot we could actually say about Atreus. I absolutely loved playing as him, which is something that, like, in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, I really hate playing as Ciri. It's like when you get to those bits, you're like, oh, okay, I just want to get through this to get back to...
The Animus in Assassin's Creed
Exactly.
That kind of thing, yeah.
And that's what I was expecting. But Atreus' sections are so good, they're so strong.
Also, you can be a wolf, you can turn into the wolf.
You can be a wolf, yeah.
Which is awesome.
That is awesome.
And of course, you can't talk about Atreus without talking about the main man, Kratos.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, where could he go? What's next for him?
Exactly.
Personally, I think it would make sense for his character to leave and find somewhere else to live. Like, there's not really much left for him now that Atreus has left. Like, I can just see him. Come on, he's clearly a loner anyway.
Oh, he is.
He's a hermit living in the woods. But it's where.
He does have Mimir and Freya, though.
Yeah.
Ragnarok ends with quite a touching scene. Atreus and Kratos, they say their goodbyes in a father-son touching scene. He leaves with Angrboda to obviously free the giants, who are marbled, strangely.
Also, that when they reunite, if you do not shed a tear or feel quiver your lip, you are dead inside.
I know.
That reunion is, it's so touching. It's absolutely amazing.
But the ending does strongly imply that even though their story together has been told, both protagonists have an alternative, macro unfulfilled destiny.
Yeah.
There's been hints of Kratos' future since the 2018 game.
Yeah, his storeroom, isn't it? It's got all the different
the tapestries.
There's different ones. There's an Egyptian one, I think you see.
Yeah, the tapestries allude to other gods. There is Egyptian one. I can't actually remember what the other ones are.
I know.
But there are other ones, Celtic, I think, or something.
Probably.
There were quite a few.
There is a lot of mythologies you can work with. Like, there's Japanese ones out there, Chinese ones.
Yeah.
There's so many different ones.
There was also a mural to Kratos showing him being hailed, revered, worshipped, showing that he's definitely got an unfulfilled destiny coming. And Atreus isn't part of it, clearly.
Yeah. Well, I think actually it'd be a really cool idea to have two different gods from two different mythologies exploring a different mythology. Because Kratos is from the Greek mythology, Freya is Norse. Although obviously Kratos isn't, I don't think he was ever in real Greek mythology, but like from the games, obviously, he's the son of Zeus. You've got Freya, who's from Norse mythology. Like, imagine them two exploring like Egyptian mythology.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I'm really rooting for the Egyptian.
I don't know why. I'm thinking Egyptian.
Know why.
I love that.
But the fact that God of War and Santa Monica Studios has given players the ability to realm hop.
Yeah.
It really.
opens up the windows,
things up.
doesn't it? Yeah, there's
yeah.
so much you can
They could do whatever they want, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think there's much else I want to say about Kratos. I mean, I don't know. Like we say, they could do a lot. They can do whatever they want. But one thing that I do think they should do next is remake the first and second God of Wars. They've already remastered
the third one.
The third one. But what I mean is an actual remake in the style of these God of Wars.
Ooh, I don't know whether that will work. You mean kind of like Final Fantasy VII did?
Yeah, which would be very difficult to do.
It would, because they were hack and slash games.
They were hack and slash games, yes. And they could still keep that in mind and maybe there can be flashbacks for Kratos. He could be reminiscing and missing his son and thinking about all the terrible things he did in his past. Because those games are solid as well. Oh,
yeah, they are. Yeah. They're just, obviously you can't compare them because they're different types. Like I said, hack and slash, whereas 2018 and Ragnarok are just like third-person action games more than hack and slash.
Yeah.
And they didn't have nowhere near as many cuties and button mashing.
Yeah.
And the stupid balance beams. No offense, I love those games, but the balance beam thing was so annoying in the first game.
Oh, it really was. Really, really was. So, should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on to the next thing.
Yeah, we'll move on to Sindri. I think that'd be a shorter thing to discuss. As we all know, spoiler alert, in Ragnarok, Brock is killed by Odin, who is masquerading as Tyr, who has been living in Sindri and Brock's house for most of the game. That was a fantastic twist.
It came with a sad death.
It did, very sad death, and what makes it even sadder is that Brock has already been resurrected once by Sindri in secret, which we learn about in Ragnarok, and the fact that he's done that means that Brock's soul can now not find rest. So, that could be a DLC.
It could. Yeah, what I could segue into the next game.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the dialogue between Mimir and Kratos did say that they can't save his soul. His soul's been destroyed in the well, but I do think they're going to try. Either that or Sindri's revenge.
Maybe.
Because Sindri, again, spoiler alert, is actually the one who murders Odin. Now, sorry, I'm blabbering on, but I absolutely love the God of War games. Sindri, from straight away when you meet him, he seems like a charming, happy-go-lucky germ freak. You know?
The germ thing's a bit annoying, but on the most part, it's like you do not match because he's kind of optimistic.
Yeah, it seems harmless, but we do learn that he clearly has the ability to murder a god.
Yeah.
And the dwarves have some fantastic magic in their arsenal.
They never do address it properly, do they?
No, but if Sindri wanted to, he could become a force to be reckoned with. I mean, murder changes people, you know, and it was his brother, and it seems like there's no hope. And to be honest, all of Atreus' actions did culminate in Brock being killed.
That's true.
I'm not saying it's his fault, but he secretly went to search for Tyr, he dragged Kratos into it, he dragged Sindri and Brock into it.
Oh yeah, we do find out that when you do play as Atreus, you know, and he's like, Sindri's like, you haven't told your dad that we've been secretly finding answers. And then obviously he does find out.
And clearly Odin knew all along.
Yeah.
Brilliant twist, I can't get over that still, even now. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to say about Sindri and Brock, because there's an interesting story there.
There is. I hope it's not left unfulfilled. I really think they should try and close off the Ragnarok storyline before they do anything else, regardless of what it is.
Definitely. So,
do you want to talk about Freya?
Yeah, Kratos' newest, completely trustworthy companion.
She's useless. She's nowhere near as good as Atreus is.
Yes.
Which is really annoying, actually. Because when you get into the post game, that's it. You can't go back.
Oh my god! Do you know what? I had no idea, about Atreus' departure.
Well, yeah, no one did.
Exactly, but I hadn't defeated Gna, or King Hrolf, and I struggled so badly. So badly. It was so bad.
Yeah.
If you could see my face right now.
Very sad face.
It was very hard.
Yes.
Very hard.
Who was harder? Gna or
Gna.
Oh, really?
Gna, yeah. But the Berserkers, for those that don't know, the Berserkers are in Ragnarok to parallel the Valkyries in the first game. Very challenging. Sorry, I've gone off on a tangent here with the
you
Berserker
have. I wanted
things.
you to talk about Freya because it makes me laugh.
Yes, right. I have a theory about Freya, and that is that she is a massive snake in the grass. My reasons for this, there's quite a few reasons. The first being her yoke. And what I mean by that is, in the first game, she has a curse placed upon her by Odin, which means that she cannot traverse the realms. Now, this was meant to be something that could not be broken under any means, you know, and she got dragged away from Kratos and Atreus through magical means, through a portal, when she tried to help and travel.
In the first game.
So one would assume that that would still stand in Ragnarok, but Freya can transform into a hawk so that she can travel across the realms to break her curse and avoid being sent back to Midgard. What a huge oversight on Odin's part, don't you think? How odd. Also, if this was a possible loophole, then why didn't Freya break her curse much sooner or transform into a hawk in the first game? We, you know, easily help her get rid of her yoke, which she could have done at any point.
Yep.
If it was that easy. So that makes me believe that she has been in touch with Odin, and Odin has agreed to shatter her yoke for some reason.
Well, that doesn't matter anyway, even if that is true, because Odin's dead now.
Balder was both of their son. The only reason that Odin could know that Kratos killed Balder is if Freya told him. Because the only people that were there were Kratos, Freya, Balder, and Atreus. So who told Odin? Because he came a-knocking with this knowledge that Balder had been killed by Kratos, but he was willing to let bygones be bygones if they stopped looking for Tyr, and then he dragged them into their plan, espionage.
And then you have that great fight with Thor at the beginning.
Yeah,
Pretty awesome.
that was awesome.
That's another thing that makes me sad, because they kill Thor. Odin kills Thor. Which is a shame, because when his character kind of redeems himself in the last few minutes, which is a shame.
So, do you like my theory that Freya's a little betrayer?
I can see it, but whether or not they'll go that avenue, I don't think they were thinking it.
I'm not sure about that. I think Santa Monica Studios are very smart.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Very smart. And they've gone out of their way to make you believe that Freya is trustworthy and your new companion, whereas she spent half of Ragnarok pursuing Atreus and Kratos to get her revenge. And would she just forgive and forget?
Yeah, that could be a great way to kick off the next game.
Oh, it could.
Why Kratos ends up on his own. So he tries to kill him. He gets separated from Ymir. He wakes up in Egypt.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of deep-seated vengeance, fueled hatred, it just doesn't disappear. So is she really forgiving Kratos?
There's still a part of me that is so angry that it'll always be. It'll always be angry.
I find that so hard to believe. I also find it hard to believe that she did not recognise Tyr as Odin. How can she not?
When was the last time she saw Odin, though?
Recently, if she's the one that tipped him off about Balder's death.
But does anyone know? No one knew Tyr was alive at first, remember? Alive with quotation marks. Everyone was already assumed he was already dead. So people have probably forgotten what he sounds like, what he looks like.
Oh, he is alive, by the way.
I
Oh,
know.
sorry, spoiler alert.
I know
Find
he's
him in the
alive.
end.
You do.
Like, I think it's post-game.
Yeah.
After Asgard's destroyed. You find him in a prison in Midgard from part of the wreckage from Asgard, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, I like my theory. You know, I really do not think that she's forgiven Kratos whatsoever. And she's shown her true colours. You know, she's a powerful witch. Clearly in league.
In
with
cutscene
Odin.
mode she is. Not in game.
Yeah.
Gameplay, she's crap.
Oh, she really is. Santa Monica Studios, please improve that if you're going to have Freya as a sidekick and if you're not going to go down the betrayer route.
Yeah, she's so bad compared to Atreus.
She is. She really is. And she barely has anything to level up as well.
Yeah.
Right, so I think I've covered Freya, unless there's anything else that you want to add.
Not with her, no.
Right, okay, so I think we should move on to Tyr, because even though the fake Tyr was Odin and did a moonlight flit after killing Brock, we do actually find Tyr, like we said a minute ago.
Yep.
And he is a god of war.
He is.
So the kind of hippie Tyr that Odin was portraying clearly isn't the real Tyr.
We never get to see what the real Tyr's like.
No, we do not. And I really want to know what he's like.
Yeah, because in the first game, they say that he took one of the towers out of the portal thing into that nowhere realm, because you have to jump down there to get to it.
It did, yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
So yeah, I think Tyr might have a larger role.
He could become the new Odin. He
It could
role.
become the new Odin.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's really cool. Role reversal. I like it. He could be in charge of the Valkyries and stuff. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Maybe you can take in.
Ironic.
Maybe you can take in Thor's daughter as well. You do see a mini little scene with her. I think it's post game as well, but she should have a bigger role.
Yeah.
I think.
I like her.
I like it. I'm actually really disappointed that Thor was murdered.
Yeah, it really annoys me too.
Yeah.
Especially because like he is funny as well. The barber roll.
Oh yeah, the drunk bit as well.
That's pretty funny.
It was really funny, yeah.
But as the game progresses, you kind of feel so sorry for him that he's under Odin's thumb, and he just sees him in this big brute. That he can't think for himself and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job at Thor. I mean, that's such a difficult one to do. Everyone has an image in the mind of what Thor would be like, and they nailed it. Like, when Thor first arrives, you're like, whoa.
Even in the first game.
Yeah, it takes a lot to make Kratos look small.
I know, it does. I think Kratos is supposed to be about 7 foot tall.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, I believe Master Chief from Halo's supposed to be like that as well. So, yeah. But yeah, Kratos is like 7 foot and this guy's like 9 foot something, 10 foot. He's a beast of a man.
Yeah. Oh, but that was disappointing. They shouldn't have killed Thor. What other characters should we talk about, do you think? I don't think there's anything more we can say about Mimir.
No,
you know?
there's not really anything with him, is there?
Faye.
Oh, God.
I want to talk about Faye, because in the first game, we didn't have any idea of who she was, what she looked like. She just had these bunch of secrets and sent Kratos and Atreus on a mission. She seems like a bit of a cow to me. But in Ragnarok, we did get to see what she looked like, what she sounded like, her and Kratos' dynamic.
It wasn't the best dynamic. It felt a bit weird, because she seemed a bit airy-fairy.
Yeah, I didn't like her. She didn't seem like Kratos' type. I mean, we've seen the kind of girls that Kratos likes, you know, in the original games. And he doesn't like her. He can't. Come on. But whatever, they've chosen her as being like a homely mother nature type person.
Because everyone adores her in the first game.
Yeah.
Like Brock and Sindra, they go on about her like proper angel-like.
Yeah. Maybe they'll try and give her a bigger role. I mean, I don't know how, since she's meant to be dead and everything, but why would they introduce her in the second game
in some weird dream prophecy thing?
Yeah.
That doesn't really explain anything.
I think she's marbled with the other giants.
That would make sense. That'd be good, because again, she is supposed to be a giant.
Yeah.
So, like, where's her soul gone?
Yeah, so that's what I think's going to happen. She's going to be unmarbled by Atreus, and then she could probably meet up with Kratos, you know, for a bit of god love.
God love. Is that what we're calling it?
The realms will shatter.
God of love.
He'd break her in two.
God of woo.
Then you taught the boy to woo.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go with Faye. Sorry, you are actually going to have to stop me at some point if you want this video to be a certain length, because I could go on forever.
We can always come back and do a part 2.
I guess we could. Something I want to add with Freya is another thing that would make her quite a formidable foe if she did end up being a betrayer, is that, you know, she rules Vanaheim. That is a massive realm, you know, and she's got her brother as well. I've forgotten my brother's name.
Oh, it sounds similar to hers, doesn't it? Freya, it's like got an R at the end instead of an A.
Oh yeah.
Freya,
right.
They kind of sound the same.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if they did do it, I wouldn't mind visiting the same realms, just different areas.
Yeah.
So hopefully they would do that, and it's not just treading old ground.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I couldn't remember, because I was like, I couldn't remember whether he died. Doesn't he die? He dies, doesn't he? I'm sure he does.
Oh, he does. Yeah, he does. He does. Well, anyway,
That's how forgettable he is.
She has all of Vanaheim at her disposal. Not to mention the Valkyries, because
She becomes queen again, doesn't she? Of them, she's always supposed to have been their queen.
Exactly. So can you imagine if Freya, now free from Odin's yoke, sent all of Vanaheim and the Valkyrie forces, all of Asgard, after Kratos because of the death of Balder?
I just don't think they'll do it, but I like your idea.
They might not. Who knows? All we can do is wait for the next one.
Yep.
Which, has got to go bigger and better.
I don't think they should do bigger. What they should do, if you're going to do it again, is obviously. I don't think it'll be coming out on the PS5. I feel like we're already halfway through this cycle because most console cycles are about 6 years ish. They're already in 2023, and I think they'll come out on the PS6 probably.
Probably, yeah.
So I don't mind. I really hope though that Christopher Judge comes back as Kratos.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you hear that there might be a TV show in the works?
Been in the works for a while.
But they better use Christopher Judge. If they don't, I'll be so annoyed.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of Stargate because that's what I first saw him in as Teal'c. He was awesome in that.
Yeah, and it'd just be so good. You can't imagine the voice of Kratos as anybody else.
That's one of the problems with playing the originals again. It's a different voice actor, so it doesn't always hit you right.
Right, well, anyway.
We're rambling.
We are rambling now.
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. So anyway, I've been Heather.
I've been Craig.
This is Amalgamingle, and thank you very much for watching.
Loki will go. Atreus remains.
Take care of everyone.